Hi, this is Dr. Lawrence Tan from Drive Your Practice. In the last video, we talked about the 3 major things that actually will create the basic foundation and the fundamentals of creating practice success in your life. Now, this week, I'm going to be showing you this ladder that you actually have to have in the being that you have to become to show up in your practice. In order for you to take massive action, I wanted to call this the ladder decision, because at the end of the day, you have to make the decision to become one of these. In anything, in any part of your life, you have to make a decision all the time. So let's start with the first one. I think there's a lot of people in practice, and I see a lot of chiropractors out there. You give them an idea, they ask for help. I want help. Lawrence, help me. Give me the best strategy you can do, or whatever. And the thing is that they are resistance. They're the resistors. The types of people. People who, no matter what you say to them, they will always give you an excuse of why they can't do it. Oh, it's because I'm too short, I'm too tall, or because my CAs don't do this, I don't live in this neighborhood, or basically it's I can't do that, I'm not an extrovert or introvert, I live in this area, I don't track enough families, I live in this area and they don't work in these hours, or whatever it is, that you become the resistor, right? No matter what we do, what I say to you or say to them, they will always have a resistance. And I'm sure you have that type of certain client in your practice. Think about how that feels. No matter what you say to them or what recommendation you give to them, they always have some sort of excuse. And you have a choice to either be there or not. Okay, and I want to be clear on that. The second part, one step up from that, is the dreamer. Those are the people who actually love to have a successful practice. Those people who envision the beautiful practice. They know that they actually can have that practice, but that's all the extent of actually where it gets to. They just dream about it. They dream about a beautiful practice, but they almost like as if all the strategies in the world, right, can be given to them, but they'll only dream because there's no action taken. And the thing is that strategies can be learned, and this is why I'm spending some time on this, because you can learn strategies and tactics. I can give you everything, but if you're a dreamer, it will never happen. It will, you'll blame it on the tactic didn't work or the strategy didn't work. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's just that rather than dreaming about it, you actually have to take steps towards it, and it'll get clearer as we go along. The third one here is basically what I call the fence sitter, and the fence sitters are people who really want to take action, and sometimes take action, sometimes don't. And they're almost indecisive. And they're almost the indecision makers, where they just don't know whether or not they should or shouldn't, because there's something holding them back, and there's usually an internal fear. I was like this as well. Trust me, we all are like any of these at some point or another in our lives. And depending on whether it be practice or in our life, with a relationship or finance or whatever. I'm not saying that it's one thing is bad or another, but all these levels are in all parts of our lives. Okay, let's be clear on that. And the thing, I'm not saying that I'm up here at the top always. It's not, because I am a resistor in certain things, and I'm a dreamer in certain things, and I'm also a fence sitter in certain things. But what I'm saying, when it comes to practice success, you actually have to adopt this. You have to decide what level do you want to sit. And if you're in the fence sitter, what happens is that you're almost like, in a baseball analogy, you're basically wanting to steal second, but you don't want to leave first base. Okay, you just really don't want to go, and you basically you and all about the strategy and try to make it all perfect. And this is perfect for perfectionists, right? Because they don't want to take action until it's perfect, until it looks good. And then 1 month goes by, 2 months goes by, even a whole year goes by before you actually take action on certain things. I know I've done that many times on many occasions. And so the thing is that fence sitters it's great for analysis, but it actually doesn't give you any feedback. Right? It's almost like thinking about an adjustment, but not really committing to actually getting an adjustment. The next thing is what I call the action taker. And you would think that this would be a top one, and I'll talk to you about that in a second. Action takers are fantastic. Action takers, I would love to see an action taker rather than any of these 3 down here, because action takers actually takes an idea and they go and run with it, right? Which is really, really, really good, because the action takers are what's going to create motion and movement and momentum. The only problem I have with action takers, right, is that sometimes they take action and then they just leave it at that. They're great action takers. I'm on a profile scale, I'm a 9 out of 10 on terms of quick start, which means I start projects very, very quickly. But I'm a terrible finisher, right? That's why I need to build a team around me to ensure that I finish projects. I can shoot a whole bunch of videos, but to get them edited, encoded, uploaded, it takes a team behind the scenes to actually create that to happen, because otherwise they'll just sit there. Action takers are fantastic. They're a great stepping stone, but the problem is, like I said, is that sometimes they don't actually reflect on the the feedback they're actually getting and going, wait, you're taking a whole bunch of action. Are they the right action? Are they the right strategies? Are they going with a certain purpose? And are you adapting to it? And the last part, I think this is where the point of difference is, and most people may not see that, but an implementer. An implementer is someone who actually takes action but also applies it into a strategy. They actually create the right strategy that's focused on the purpose that they're actually been driven on, or why they're doing the things that they're doing. And an implementer actually takes action but then reflects back and adapts to the situation and changes it accordingly and makes sure to make the finer tweaks, where action takers oftentimes they just go and that's it. They don't look back, they don't refine their strategy and their methods and whether or not it's actually accurate. It's almost like implementers are almost the ones who do a progress exam once in a while on themselves, on their practice, whether or not they're doing the right things, rather than doing the same thing over and over again year after year. And so that's what I'm suggesting, is that I say go to the higher level. The implementers are the ones who actually take action, reflect back, and tweak it and make it better each and every single time. They're constantly tweaking to elevate themselves, to learn. This is a process of mastery. There's never, most of the things is that people think that I just learned one skill and that's it. Trust me, this is an ongoing learning curve. You never stop learning. After university, you continue to learn. I'm still learning. I'm still adapting to the times and the social aspect of how we deal with things now. Everything has to be upgraded, and your goal is to be an implementer in your practice. You have to decide which one do you want to be, and because that's going to dictate the amount of success that you're going to have. Now, for those of you who are implementers, who are ready to take implementation steps, I'd love to go check out 2XP Intensive, which is one of my one-day seminars, because I give you everything that's possible for you to implement, and you got to decide which one you're going to do, because you can't do them all, but there are certain focus areas that you should be focusing on a continual basis to master each level every single time, to tweak, to make it better, to create this flow in your practice, to free you up. The goal is to free you up to do what? One is to adjust and communicate and connect with people. Two is fulfill your mission and your purpose. And three is to allow you and free yourself so that everything is taken care of, so you can actually enjoy the time that you have with your family or your friends or whatever thing you're passionate about outside of practice. It's about the freedom and the lifestyle. I think that that's what chiropractors is allowed to do, is to help people and also frees us up to allow to do the things that we can do. Be an implementer. The faster you implement, the speed of implementation allows you to become successful. The greatest successful chiropractors I've seen in the world are people who actually implement. I hope that you can too. Go check out 2xp.com.au and come to the 2XP Intensive. It's one of the best intensive I've ever done, a workshop that you compress all the information in one single day. Go to driveyourpractice.com, go to Facebook, and to also like us there and share this with your colleagues, because I think this is important. This is the only way we're going to be able to get chiropractors to step up this profession and raise the bar so we can actually help more people. I'm Dr. Lawrence Tan from Drive Your Practice. I'll see you on the next video.